Hey everyone, I'm super excited to be doing this Zoom for you guys because I have been in this business for a little over 6 years. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Courtney. I am from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I now live in Charlotte. And I started because I was 21 and drowning in credit card debt. I just needed some help to pay the minimum payments because I was working more than full time, but I couldn't even make just the minimum payments on my cards and it was stressing me out. So I just started for a little bit of extra money and here I am now. My life is totally different. But I just about had a heart attack when I saw that these bonuses were announced because these bonuses are what changed my life back in 2018. A little backstory is I had been in the company for 2 years. My enroller was no longer with the company, but she had promoted me to executive. I did nothing for it, but I wasn't maintaining it. And I had never really given my all to the business. I had never really put myself into it, done all the things, took all the excuses off the table and went for it. And it was the end of January at the time, and my now husband, then boyfriend, was like, what do you want to do with your life? Because you hate your job. And I was like, well, that's right. I'm going to do it works. And he was like, you don't do anything for it works. How is that going to pay your bills? And I was like, no, I got it. So he was like, well, why don't you actually try? So I did. So February, I maintained a distributor. March, I went Emerald. And then a couple months later, I tried to look at eSuite today to figure out the months, and 2018 doesn't exist. It wouldn't tell me my volumes, my ranks, nothing. So a couple months later-ish, I went diamond. A couple months later-ish, I went double. Okay, I don't know the exact months. But it's all because of these bonuses. At the time, there was an emerald and diamond bonus, and I was like, I will do whatever it takes to get that amount of money. And I have figured out some incomes to tell you guys of what you can expect by the end of this. And I'm pretty excited because if y'all would have told me when I was first starting this business or first trying to get into things, how much money could be made, I would have been like, I don't care what I have to do. I will do whatever it takes. Right. So a couple girls on my team messaged me and they're like, cool, this diamond bonus thing. I don't even know what diamond is, but can you just give me a game plan? So that's what I did. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. These files I do have that you guys can save them. So let me see if this will work. Can you guys see this? Can anyone thumbs up, put in the chat something if you can see what I'm doing? Let me see something in the chat. Yes. Okay. Awesome. So this is, I made a week by week thing to follow. Okay. So we're going to get into it. But I have this set for you. So to break it down, to start, each of these little boxes at the bottom, these 7 boxes, are your daily task list. Now, if you do not actively work the business right now, this is going to look like a lot and you're going to want to have a heart attack. However, you have to ask yourself, how bad do you want these bonuses? How bad do you want that money? What's the money going to go for? Okay. So we'll get into that in a little bit, but so down here, is it not going to let me zoom in? That's dumb. So down here are what we're going to do every day. So we're going to do a business post, a product post, and a random post. And if you guys can see, there is a little open star that you can check mark every single day. So you can track what you're doing, because why I did this is I want you to be able to go back. Say November comes, I want you to be able to look back and be like, did I do everything I could to earn this bonus, right? That's what I want for you. So business post, product post, random post every single day. I want you to send 100 host to post messages. I want you to put in the chat of this Zoom right now, if you send 100 host to post messages every single day. Be honest. I don't. I'm gonna be totally honest. I do not. Does anyone? No. Okay. Put in the comments or in the chat how many you usually send, average per day. 40 to 50-ish. Okay. So the reason 75% of the time, average 75. Okay, awesome. So the reason why these numbers are larger is because we want larger results, right? So I'm going to be totally honest, this is more than my normal daily task list. However, I'm committing to this as well, because I'm not going to tell someone on my team, hey, do this many messages, but I'm not going to do it myself. So I'm committing to this as well. However, my task list is smaller than this, and I just earned my 6th success bonus of the year. Okay, so if you commit to doing these consistently every single day, there is no reason why you cannot go diamond by the end of November. Okay, so 100 host to post messages, 50 friend requests, 40 distributor messages. Put in the chat, do you message for distributors every single day? No. No. How many of you are terrified to send distributor messages every single day? I remember when I first started asking for distributors, I would literally send a message and throw my phone across the room because I was terrified of what they would say. However, I want you to think of it this way, okay? Put a 1 in the chat right now if you have gained anything positive from this business, friends or money or hope or whatever. If you've gained anything positive from the business, put a 1 in the chat. Okay. Every single person just put a 1 in the chat. And now I want you to remember that when you're afraid to send messages, you are keeping someone from this positivity of this company, whether it's the money or the hope or the friends or the whatever. Okay. You're keeping this from people. So don't be afraid when you're messaging that you're like, oh, I'm going to bug them. Well, no, aren't you so grateful that you have this business? Right. So make sure you're remembering that when you're sending the messages. You're not doing this so you can check a box. You're doing this so you can help change our lives. Okay. So beyond that, you're going to write down potentials every day. You're going to follow up. You're going to do self-development, birthdays, and stories. Okay. So these things, okay, what just happened here? These boxes up here are 4 boxes and a diamond. Okay. So you're going to check mark. Our goal every week is 4 customers and a distributor. Okay. Now I know for some of you that might be like, how in the world, I didn't even get a 4-in-1 this month. How am I supposed to do it each week? Most likely, if you did not get a 4-in-1 in this month, it's because you were not doing this much effort or this consistently. Okay. So I promise you will see the results. So when you get a customer, you're going to do a little check mark in the box. When you get a distributor, highlight it, color it in, check mark it, literally whatever. Okay. So, a couple main things that I want to talk about here. First off, is the consistency of this. Okay. I want you to ask yourself, and it's totally okay if you're like, girlfriend, this is not my time. I cannot commit to this, and that's okay. And if you're not on my team, you can feel free to ask your upline if they recommend something different. This is just what I would recommend. I have these in a Canva file. If you're not able to, save it, I'll put it in the chat. If you're not able to save it, someone let me know. Give me a second, but I will do that. If you're not able, I will put it into a, what just happened? I will put it into a PDF and share it somehow. But yes, so I have this saved so everyone can use this. Okay. The biggest part here that I want you guys to look at is the self-development right here. Okay. This is what's going to seem like the most annoying, not necessary thing, but the most important, because there are going to come times each day when you're like, I don't want to do this list, or I've done this list every single day for 5 days and I haven't had a single customer or comment on my post or anything. Okay. There are going to come days when you're like, I don't even know why I'm doing this. I can't go diamond, right? There are going to come days for all of those things, and self-development is what's going to keep you on track. Okay. So September 1st through 7th, we have one for each week, right? And then this is the last one. Now, here is what I want to show you guys. And let me see, it's probably going to stop the share in a second. So give me 1 second. Let me see if this works or not. I'm going to send you guys the, okay, it's not going to work. I will get the file. I do not cold message for customers whatsoever. No. I don't like to. If you want to, go be my guest. It's just an extra thing, but it's not my favorite thing in the world. So I don't. I probably would get more customers if I did. However, without doing it, I still sign 30 plus customers a month. So here are the last 2 little task lists for the month. I will do another one of these Zoom come October, end of September, with October files for you, or you can just copy them and paste them, whatever. But what I want to show you guys is what we're going to do with these 4-in-1s, right? So in September, our goal is to get 4 tier 1s, 4-in-1s, right? So what you're going to do, and this is assuming, you guys, that you do not have any distributors or anything on your team right now, okay? If you do, talk to your upline, they may do something differently. But so your first tier 1, our goal for the end of September is to go Ruby, okay? So our first tier 1, we're going to put them here. We're going to just label it number 1 because that's easiest. And then we're going to do number 2 here, number 3 here, okay? Now, since we're doing a 4th one, what we're going to do is we're going to look at these 1 through 3, right? We're still going to assign this 4th distributor under our account, but we're going to move them, place them underneath one of these 3 distributors. You're going to look at them and say, hey, who's working the hardest that I think is going to run with me and be a future Ruby and or Emerald on my diamond chart, okay? So we're going to say it's number 1. So we're going to go right here and we're going to put 4 in the chart right underneath them, okay? I know how to convert them to a PDF file. Tanya, I just didn't have time to do it, but I will work on it. So that's where our 4 distributors are, okay? Now, assuming that all of our distributors are working too, right? However, not all of them are going to get their 4-in-1s done in the first month. So we're going to assume one of them does, right? So we're going to put right here that this girl, number 1, also signed one. So we're going to put 1 there. So at the end of September, this is our goal, okay? So you will have 3 top lines. You're going to put your 4th distributor under this one, under number 1, and number 1 signed her own distributor too, okay? And we will work on the volume. It'll all come together, but with everyone working, and you should go Ruby or be very, very close. Okay, cool. Now, I'm just showing you guys this so you know where we're going. If you sign more enrollments or if you sign more distributors, more things, you can keep going, okay? So going on to Ruby, Emerald, and Diamond. Can I just clear? Oh, cool, I can clear my drawings. Okay, so let's fill this in from what we had before. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then she had her 1, right? Okay. So then this is for October, okay? So you did your 4-in-1 again, right? Your 4-in-1s. So we're going to put your 4, we're going to put them in purple this time. So we're going to do 1 here, 1 here, 1 here. Oh, sorry, let me make this a 2. We'll pretend. 1 here. And this is my personal opinion. I would put my 4th one here to make that qualified leg stronger. Okay. So then our people are still working, right? So let's say number 2 finishes her 4-in-1 because so our goal, and if you guys want to write this down, sorry, I should have said this earlier. Our goal for September is 4 tier 1s, 1 tier 2, and Ruby. Okay, I'll just do that. October, our goal is again 4 tier 1s, but this time 2 tier 2s and Emerald. Okay, so our tier 2s, we're going to say number 2 here is working, right? So there's 1, and number 4 is also working. So we're going to put a number 2 there. Okay, cool. Now, I wish I could just like move these. I can't. Okay, so looking into October or November, sorry guys. Let me do this, make it bigger. Y'all, this is my first time not putting them into PDFs because I've been like a mad woman today, and I really am mad at myself that I didn't do this. Okay, so we're gonna move all these people down. So number 1 is now our Emerald, right? Number 4 is one of the rubies. Number 2 is one of the we'll see here. So I'm just moving these down so you guys can see where these people are going, right? Three, 4. Okay. So November. 4 tier 1s, 2 tier 2s, and diamond. Okay. So let's pick another color. We're going to do yellow. So you're 4 tier 1s, right? So we're going to do 1 here. One. Why isn't that yellow? I picked, yeah. Here we go. 1. Y'all, I promise I'm not done. Down. 2. It's because it's this thing at the bottom and it doesn't let me zoom out. Can I do this and then zoom in? Let's try this. Aha. That's much easier to see, right, guys? Okay. We're going to move this real quick. You know, y'all are probably like, who is this chick? What is happening on the Zoom? Okay. I don't even know if I have this right. Why is it not selecting the right people? Okay, you know what we're going to do? We're going to clear all the drawings and restart. So we're going to just put a little dash because all these were done, right? So we have there, 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 there. Okay. Okay, so we are going to do this color. So you are signing 4 tier 1s, and there are 2 tier 2s coming. So we're going to have a second person here and another tier 1 working here, right? Or tier 2. So then your 4 distributors are going to go here, 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 and then this person will need to sign 1 here. Okay, I know that was a lot, and you guys, this is just projecting into October and November. We're not focusing there right now. We're literally, but if this is here, so if you guys want to come back and watch the recording, you can watch this, but right now, we're literally just focusing on this. This is what our goal is for September, okay? So, again, you're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and this person is also going to sign 1. So this is what your chart should look like by the end of September. Okay, I know it's because of my technical difficulties, it did not project properly, but did that somewhat help as far as what you need to sign, where they need to go, kind of the game plan of what we're doing over the next few months? Yes, awesome. Okay, so now let's get to some numbers. Who wants to know how much money you can make in the next couple months? Right? Okay, so September, you sign 4 tier 1s, right? So that's 600 right there. Then you've got a tier 2 completed. So that's another 350. So that puts us at 950. Then we're assuming that you go ruby and we'll say your check is 300. So that puts you at 1250. Okay. I want to know right now, put a 2 in the chat if you would be hyped up for getting a $1,250 in September. Right? Getting a paycheck with a comma, like heck yeah. Okay. Now for October, you got your 4 tier 1s and your 2 tier 2s again, or that's 2 tier 2s. So that would be 600 for your tier 1s, 700 for your tier 2s. So that would put you at 1,300 just in tier 1 and tier 2 bonuses. Okay. However, you also just went emerald. We'll say your paycheck is 700-ish. I don't know exactly what it'll be. It depends on your volume. That puts you at 2,000. Okay. 2,000 for October. So we have September 1250, October at 2,000. So that's 3,250 in the next 2 months. Okay. November, you just went diamond. So you got your 4 tier 1s, your 2 tier 2s. So that's 1,300. And then we'll say your diamond paycheck is 1,500. Okay. So that puts you at 2,800 for going diamond. Cool. Now you guys, don't forget, there is a chance, wink, wink. I'm not positive. I don't know for sure what's coming. There's a chance success bonuses might be around for Q4. I don't know. Don't mark my words. Don't come after me if they're not. There's a chance that there are. If there are, you just increased, you would have completed almost 3 success bonuses in that time. Okay. Yeah, close. Okay. So that's an additional income. Now, let's say you're maintaining diamond in December as well, right? Because that's smart. So, because that's how we get the payout. So for the diamond bonus, you guys, it's a $10,000 bonus paid out over 12 months. You have to earn it by November and you have to maintain diamond the second month to start your payout. So you may go diamond in November, maintain diamond in December. Your December's paycheck would be 2 months payout of that diamond bonus. Okay. So let me 12 times 2. So your December paycheck. Okay. Assuming you're still doing that 4 tier 1s, 2 tier 2s, right? Because now you're on the hang of it. Now you're like, this is easy. So there's 1,300. Then you get your diamond bonus payout, which is another 1,700. So you're at 3,000 right there. Okay. Well, you have a diamond paycheck. And what's cool at that point is you will be getting something called cabs, which if you don't know what that is, it's going to go right over your head. But basically your fast start bonuses, if you guys remember those back in the day, but when your distributor gets at least 2 customers, you get an additional $80. Okay. So assuming there's 6 distributors on your team that have done that, that's an additional $480. So we're at 3,200 just off of bonuses. Then your diamond paycheck would probably be 1,500-ish, which would put your diamond paycheck right around $5,000. $5,000. Okay. So September 1,250, October 2,000, November 2,800, December right around 5,000, which puts our grand total approximately $11,050. Who wants $11,050 paid out between now and January 15th? Who is willing to push themselves and do more than they've ever done before to get that money? This is the type of Zoom that shook me to my core back in 2018 when I was like, holy crap, I can make how much money? What can happen? And y'all, I earned all those bonuses. And in a matter of 4 months, because of this, I paid off all of my debt, all of it, because my paychecks were not average. My paychecks were higher because I got so excited about what I was doing, because I'll be honest, the first week or so, I didn't see results. I didn't see much happening. And I was like, this is freaking dumb, right? How many of you have given it your all for a week and you're like, hello, what just happened? But the magic comes when you consistently do it day in and day out, and then you start seeing the results. And you guys, so that was February. I gave it my all, you guys. I busted my butt. I didn't promote. I didn't even maintain executive. My paycheck was like $100. But guess what? That next month I promoted to Emerald and my paycheck, including bonuses, was just about 2,000. I went from 100 to almost 2,000 in a month. Not because I'm someone so special, not because I'm this mass enroller, but because I was so consistent and the results just started pouring in, you guys. Before I went on that run to promote myself to double, the most customers I'd ever enrolled in a month was 4. The month that I promoted to Emerald, I want you guys to guess how many customers I signed. 67. 67. Okay. It does not take this crazy person that like You don't need 40,000 followers on Instagram. Okay. You don't need to have every single TikTok go viral. What you need is the desire to make it work and the consistency of it, because there's going to come a day, probably a week or two from now, where you're like, oh, this Courtney chick told me to do all this stuff and I don't want to do it all. Like, there's a lot coming together. I don't feel like it. It's that day that's make or break. You need to decide in that moment and commit to yourself to this bonus day in and day out. Because come January 15, I bet, how many people are on here? 47. I bet a quarter of you will have done what I asked you to do. And a quarter of you will be like, holy crap, I actually made 11 grand. What the fudge just happened? Right? And then there's going to be the other 3/4 of you that gave up on yourself, that gave up on your dreams, that were like, you know what? It's not important to me right now. It's just not worth it. So what I want you to do tonight is I want you to print out these files. Let me get them and let me know if you cannot, open it. I'm going to do it right now. Somebody try to open it while I'm talking. Tell me if you can. Yes. Yeah. You can pay for your entire conference trip, y'all. You can pay for whatever you want. 11,000, you could do whatever the heck you want at that point, right? So you just need to decide day in and day out that you are going to do this. Okay. There was something else I was going to say before I said I was going to send the link. Down payment for a house. Heck yeah. Okay. What I want you to do tonight is I want you to print out these things, or if you have an iPad, open it, save it on your GoodNotes or whatever. I want you to print these out. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to think of what all that money would do for you. Because for me, and what I still have to do, and I'll go more into this in a second, is I need to figure out where my money is going. Because just thinking like, oh, it'd be so nice to have like an extra 11,000, be so nice. But if I don't put something to it in my brain, my brain does not think I'm actually going to have it. Okay. Back then, I just needed to pay off my credit card debt because it was killing me. This past September, I had my son, which is crazy. He's almost a year. I had my son September 2nd, which was the day after Christmas cash bonuses came out. Okay. I did nothing for the whole month of September. Okay. October, my paycheck was lower than it had ever been before. Not literally, but it was lower than it had been for a while. And I was like, I need to do something, or something like this is not going to work. And I needed to get myself motivated somehow. Okay. And we had this janky dryer that if you dried it too long, it burned clothes. But if you didn't dry it long enough, it like was still wet. So you had to do like a really short cycle, like 3 or 4 times. It was really bad. And I told myself that if I earned 3 Christmas cash bonuses, that I would buy myself a new washer and dryer. So I told myself if I earned those 15,000, because back then they were 5,000, I was like, if I earn this 15,000, I will take 1,000 or whatever it was to buy myself a new washer and dryer. So you have to get yourself so specific. Where is that money going? Okay. And I want you to write out, the total was estimated 11,050. Okay. I want you to write that out. What would that go to in the next 4 months? What is that going to pay for? What kind of Christmas can you give your kids? Right, to have that much extra money. So it'd be 5,000 of that would be paid after Christmas. Well, that's still 6,050 paid before Christmas. So many people need this much money, you guys. So I want you to get so specific, not just be like, well, some will go to debt and then some will go to savings. No. 1,000 or 11,050 includes 2 payments of the diamond bonus. So that includes 1,600, 1,700 of the diamond bonus. So there's still an additional 8,300. And y'all, that's not including that if there's going to be a success bonus extended. Okay. We don't know. I truly don't know. I can't tell you if there is or there isn't, but there's a chance, right? We can all hope. So I want you to get super specific about that. Next thing I want you to do is I want you to figure out what I call myself. What's your rescue ladder? Okay. What can you do when you hit that breaking point where you're like, I can't do this anymore. I don't think this is going to happen. I'm struggling. Who can you call? What podcast can you listen to? What book are you going to read? What are you going to do to rescue yourself when that day comes? Because that day will come when you don't want to do it anymore. When you don't think You can do it. So figure out how you're going to rescue yourself. Imagine yourself, right, y'all? If you got stuck in a ditch, it'd be really hard to get out. But if you knew you'd get stuck in a ditch and you brought yourself a ladder, it wouldn't be really hard to get out, right? Because you already had your ladder. You're like, oh, I'm just going to climb up out of here. Super easy. So think of that ahead of time. And last thing I want you to do is I want you to talk to your spouse or your family or whoever and just tell them like, hey, I'm going to be working more than I have on my phone. And you're probably going to be annoyed a little bit because you're going to see my face on my phone a little bit more. But here's why I'm doing this. Here's what this is going to do for us. Here's what this is going to do for you. Back in 2018, when I was doing this, my husband and I were just recently living together, and I told him, I was like, babe, I'm going to do this. And if I go Emerald, I'm going to buy you a new golf club. Golf clubs are so expensive, man. I was like, what did I agree to? What is happening here? But that's what I told him. I was like, I'm being annoying. I'm be on my phone. We're not going to hang out all the time. Like, I'm gonna be working. And I got it done. And then I got him a new golf club. And it was so cool to be able to do something for someone else. So here's the logistics of this, okay? This is going to take sacrifice. How many of you put a 3 in the chat if you're like, I don't have the time to do all this stuff? You're like, I don't think you realize I'm up and I work and I come home and I have to make dinner and then I go to the gym and then I have to put my kids to bed. And then I'm so dead, I don't want to do anything. Right? Okay. Some of y'all aren't admitting it, but I know it's true. Okay. So back then, what I did is I worked, it was about an hour away, 45 minutes-ish. And I worked from 7 to 5 and I worked out every day because I was really healthy back then. It was really important to me. So I was gone and working out of the house, like gone, working out, dinner, whatever. I could not work between 7 a.m.-ish to 7 or 8 p.m. That was getting ready, driving to work, working, coming home, eating dinner, working out, all the things, right? So what I did is I got my buns up an hour earlier and I was intentional with my list. I got up at 5 o'clock every single day for 4 months and I hated it, but I did. Okay. Got up an hour earlier every single day. Then I also stayed up an hour later. Y'all, I was running on fumes. I was running on 5 to 6 hours a day of sleep. Now, as a newborn mom, I'm like 5 to 6 hours have been great. But back then it was a struggle. Okay. You have to make sacrifices. I don't look back at that time and I'm like, man, wish I would have slept till 7 a.m. instead of 5. That would have been so much nicer. I really wish I wouldn't have done that. That's not what it's like, okay? You have to make sacrifices. You have to do whatever it takes. If you know you're busy from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m., well, then you have to get up an hour earlier or stay up an hour later or do whatever it takes. Because if you can't squeeze in the time of your day, you have to make your day longer. Or it's just not important enough to you. And I don't mean that in a mean way. And for those of you that got on here and you're like, man, this girl is harsh. I just am saying to you what I needed someone to say to me back then. Because I didn't want to do the work, but I wanted the money. And it got to a point where someone was like, either you're going to work for the money or you're not. That's it. The money's not going to come without the work. Point blank. You're not going to go diamond working 10 minutes a day, 4 days a week. Sorry. It's not going to happen. If you're comfortable where you are and you're like, girlfriend, I'm good making $100 a month. That's great. I started for $100 a month and I'm so happy for you if you're good there. But for those of you that feel that tugging on your heart that you're like, I want that $10,000 bonus, but I don't know how to get there. Start here. Start here. Start with this list. Start with the consistency. Start with pushing yourself. Do more than you've ever done before. And I promise you, come the end of November, when you're diamond, you're going to look back and be like, that was so worth it. You're not going to go diamond and look back and be like, oh, I wish I would have slept longer. Oh, I wish I would have done less. No, you're going to be like, man, that was so worth it. So does anyone have any questions I can answer before we hop off? To make more money, you want to get customers and distributors. You want to do both. You don't, because if you sign a distributor and you don't sign customers and they don't sign customers, we're not making any money. So you want to sign customers and you want to sign distributors. Drive a certain number of hats I suggest daily. I'm going to be honest, and your upline might hate me for saying this. I don't know how many host posts I get up every day. I don't look at it. Because in my head, what I do is if I have sent all the messages I can that day, I have done enough in my head that I feel like, all right, I did good, then that's enough for me. Okay. But if I go to bed and I'm like, oh, I watched like 6 episodes of that Netflix show and I did no work today, then that's it. Like, then that's my problem. Okay. So you just have to ask yourself, like, did I do everything I needed to do today? What is my list of tasks that I do early in the morning compared to what I do at night? I do not work well at night. It has switched a lot since I had my son. The nighttime, I just want to chill out and be a vegetable on my couch. I don't like to work at night. Okay. So almost all of my list gets done in the morning. My morning is literally, I do my whole task list, legitimately the whole task list, and I answer people throughout the day, because then my husband will take my son for an hour and I get my whole entire list done. And then the rest of the day, I can run errands. I can hang out with my son. I can do whatever I need to do and be present with my family and still be working and still feel like I got enough done. Right. So, focus on the action, not the result. Yes. Will October and November be on the link also when they're ready? Yeah, actually, that would be a lot smarter. I'll do that. I'll make them on the same file. I'll try to make them either tonight or tomorrow. So you have them. But no promises. We're going on a vacation tomorrow. Do I do any TikToks or reels? Not consistently. It depends on the day. It depends on the mood. To be honest, it depends on how often I get ready, because when I get ready, I record reels and then I run out of them and I don't get ready for a while again. And then I don't have any more. So I try to, but I'm not consistent with it. Do I have a board, or do I just follow this list? I have a board that I use for my team that I will share with you guys because I don't care. Let me put it in the chats. Hold on. Melissa, that is totally up to you if you do a Sabbath. That is 100% up to you. If you feel like, and I will say this is, like I said, it's a very personal thing. It's up to you. If you feel good with working your 6 days a week and you feel like I freaking killed it those 6 days of the week, absolutely take a 7th day. If that's what feels right in your heart, pray about it. Ask God, like, hey, do you want me to take a Sabbath right now or not? I've had seasons where I take a Sabbath religiously, and I've had Sabbaths or like times where I don't take a Sabbath because it doesn't feel right. So just do it that way. Pretty sociable in person, but I don't feel like I am on Facebook and stuff. Do you have any tips? So what I started doing when I was trying to get better about social media is when I was writing posts, I would voice talk, like talk to text, like I was talking to a friend, because then it seemed a lot less fake, right? Because it wasn't like, I would love to have a tester today. Is that what you would say to your best friend? I would love to get some testers today. No, that's not what you would do. So that's not working. Let me try, hold on. Does this one work, Rebecca? Just try to be yourself. And like, so what I also had to do is if I was like using someone else's post, I would read it out loud. And if I felt awkward reading it, I didn't post it that way, because that's not how I would talk. Okay. So, and then also just try to get on your stories a lot. If you're comfortable in person, you're like, I just like to talk to people, do that. Any other questions or things I can share with you, concerns you have, anything at all? Okay, awesome. I'm glad that so many of you guys hopped on. I hope you guys took a lot from this. Like I said, I can do another Zoom in October to kind of go over like charting things for October and November, but for charting, it's probably best to just check with your upline and say, hey, here's my chart. Where do you recommend I put these next couple people? This is just like a basic, if you have no one and you have no upline, here's something you can follow. But it's best to talk to your upline because they know your chart better than I do, right? And if you're on my team, talk to me and I will tell you where to put people. So I hope this was helpful, you guys. If you are watching the recording on YouTube, check the description box underneath this for the links to my board and to my the files. Please don't message me. Last time I did a Zoom like this, I got like 800 messages the next day and I was like, please stop. It's all in the description. So please check the description box. It is there. I promise you it's there. And yeah, I will talk to you guys soon.